It's been a while since I've done a properly technical video, and I've recently reached 63 subscribers, so I thought I'd do an actual technical video again. So, this one is about an install in the car of an FT-7900 with hands-free microphone. The FT-7900 head unit is connected to the main part of the radio using RJ12 6-pin connector. You can buy kits which allow you to separate these two very easily. I have not used a kit. When used unseparated, the head unit clips onto the main part of the radio, and there is a short lead which connects the two control ports together. Depending on your specific setup, having a microphone connector on the head unit is either an advantage or a disadvantage. In this case, it is a slight advantage, since there is less cabling to run. N-type connector, a fan, a data port, and a speaker port. There is no port for the microphone. This is on the head unit. I will not be using the built-in speaker since this radio will be under the passenger seat. To connect the two parts together, I am using Cat5e cable using an RJ12 connector. This means I'm not using two of the conductors. For better heat dissipation, I have placed the unit under the passenger seat upside down. This is so that more of the heatsink is exposed to the air. Of course, an important part of a radio setup in the car is how to power it. For now, I've temporarily connected it up to the lighter socket, and as you can see, that is quite loose. I just need to stick that back down. And I have those cables, they are split a bit to go to this here, and then carry on to under the passenger seat, along with the cable for the speaker and the control cable. Okay, so what about the antenna? Well, I've got the lead going through the lower part of the door, and then on the other side it goes up. Okay, so it's all set up. But what about talking? One has to hold a microphone, which, while is perfectly legal to do while driving, as long as you use it safely, it can be difficult, and therefore potentially unsafe. So this is where hands-free comes in. Since the microphone also uses an RJ12 connector with 6 pins, we can use one of those. I bought a massive bag of them very cheaply. Hurrah! These two cables run down and then split. Going left is the control cable, which goes down into the dash, then pops up again there, and goes under the seat. Going right is the hands-free, which goes down there. The white cable goes behind the dash slightly, then comes up behind this piece of plastic. As we can see inside, the white cable. I won't take this all off since it's difficult to get back on. And that then pops up out here. And when positioned correctly, worked very well. I've tested it and I can be heard very well. And this microphone is an electric microphone, which requires some power to work. And after a bit of research on the internet, I found out how to use it. And here is a quick diagram of how it works. You've got power coming in through a resistor to power the microphone, and then you need a capacitor to block the DC. Okay, so that's the talking part. How about the transmitting part? For transmit, I went with a switch. This means I can flick the switch to transmit, speak while driving. I don't have to use my hands to hold down a button or anything. And then when I'm finished, switch it off again. This is connected through some little wires here, These don't carry much current, it's just telling the radio to go into transmit, which connects up with the cable just under the dash there. Now, unlike the MH48 microphone, there aren't any up or down buttons or numeric keypad, so if you did want to enter DTMF, you'd have to use this microphone. But for simple operation on a repeater or simplex, this should be absolutely fine, unless you wanted to do echo link while driving, which would be a bit distracting, I would have thought, so there's no need for the DTMF while driving, I wouldn't have thought. M0 IDM testing access. M0 IDM testing. And of course, when not in use, the microphone can be tucked away up there. Just as a little note, I have coloured in the white cables black because it's too distracting while driving, so yeah.